This page 65 of your note. You should test it first. All right, what you're going to do is you are going to solve this with partial products right now. If you remember, you start 2 times 9, 2 times 20, yada, yada, yada. Solve it with partial products, and then you pause the video, and then you could compare your answer. All right, so basically when you get to this part, everything should be lined up. Okay, so that's the first part of what we've done. I multiplied the 2 by all the numbers on the top. What do I have to multiply next?
40 by all the numbers.
Exactly correct. I have to multiply 40 by all the numbers, right? So first I'll do 40 times 9, then 40 times 20, times 20. Go ahead and continue that. This is the answer to the problem, so if you did not get that, just check and see what you might have done incorrectly. All right, so this is a ton of work, and I know probably while you're doing it, you were thinking, like, this is a lot of numbers, right? Basically, what the problem is, it is a lot of numbers. This is too much work. This is too long, and that's why we're going to teach you a different way of doing it, all right? If you turn to page 66, you can see this page, and it shows you exactly what I did in the top, right? You could see the first group of numbers and then the second group of numbers. When we solve the algorithm, ready for this? We're going to do this as step 1, and then we're going to do this as step 2. And we're going to add them together. It's going to be so much quicker for you, and it's going to be so much more enjoyable. You'll see it right here. Go ahead, you can actually even pause the video or read what you want. On this, it'll tell you how to do this. What they're trying to show you, at least on page 67 in your book, is that where you see here, where do you see multiplying by 1s and by 10s in the first model it? So if you look at the model it, where are we multiplying by 1s over here? The red part. This is all the 1s. We had to multiply the 1s. The 2 is in the 1s. We had to multiply that 4 times. Right? And where do we do it in the 10s? It's the blue. This is 4 10s, and you're multiplying it 4 different times, right? By the 9, by the 20, by the 400, and by the thousands. Lots of steps here. So we're going to solve that same problem again, only this time we're going to use the algorithm. You're going to do it with me. So on a piece of paper or maybe on page 66, doesn't matter, there's a nice big blank part on 66. We're going to write the problem again, 1,429 times 42. And we're going to do that. So get yourself ready to go. Do you remember the first step? We have to multiply by the 1s. And in the 1s in this problem, we have what 2 numbers? Yeah? Right, so the first step is going to be 2 times 9. What is 2 times 9? We know that, everybody. 18. Super easy. We're going to put the 8 down, and I told you this is about carrying, right? 8 1s. 18 has 8 1s and 1 10. So we're going to put the 1 up there. So go ahead and do that with me, right? 18 is you put the 8 down, you put the 1 up there. Great. Next, we've multiplied 2 times 9. I'm going to draw a little tiny arrow here. All right, now we have to do 2 times 20. That is an ugly arrow. We're going to do 2 times 20. What is 2 times 20? How many? Yep.
40.
It's 40, so that means it's 4 10s, right? 4 10s. Don't forget, we're carrying. So 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1, we're going to put a 5 right down there because we're adding the things we are carrying. Do we have to carry anything else? No, because we got the number 5. 2 times 2 was 4, plus 1 was 5. We're not carrying anything right there. Next, we have to multiply 2 times,
4.
yeah, this guy over here. Let's see if we can draw a better arrow this time. That's not better. That's better. All right. 2 times 4 is?
800.
800. So do we have to carry anything with 800? There's 8 hundreds. No, we're not carrying. The 8 goes right there. There's 8 of them. They're 800s. Good job realizing that. And then finally, 2 times 1, 2, 2,000. So that's your first bit. And you can compare that to what we did in the first place over here. It's this part, or if we look at the very first thing, that's all of this work that we just did right there. All of that work. So much simpler though, right? By doing it just the way we did it right there. Now that we've multiplied by the ones, what do we multiply next? Yes? The 10. So we're going to use the 10. So you're going to do this with me as well. We're going to go, let's not use purple, let's use red. We'll do, so when we're multiplying by a tens, what's going to go into the ones place? Don't do anything right now.
I looked it up during the summer.
A 0. You're always going to put a 0 because we're multiplying by the tens place. So go ahead, put a 0 right there. Whenever you multiply a 10, there's always going to be a 0 in the ones place. Can't get anything there. So we do 4 times 9 is what? 36. We put the 6 down, cross off that 1, and put a 3 up there. Next step, we do 4 times 2 is 8, plus is 11. You put the 1 down, and then you put a 1 up there for 11. Then we do 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. You put the 7 down and the 1 up there. Because again, we continue to carry. And then finally, 4 times 1 is 1, plus 1 is 5. And then you should get the exact same answer you got last time. If you got it right, yeah, clearly. All right, let's see if we can do this problem here. Read number 7. You'll see at the end it's going to be 504 times 18. Remember, you'll start with the 8 times 4. We'll just do the first part real fast. Ready? 8 times 4 is 32. I put the 2 down and the 3 up. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 3 is 3. 8 times 5 is 40. That is the first part of this. See if you can do the next part of this now. And absolutely do not forget that you always put a 0 right there because you're multiplying by a 10, right? All right, for the last part here, this is super easy. Whenever you multiply by 1, it's super easy, right? So 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 0 is 0, and then 1 times 5 is 5. And then when you add these up, you should get 9,072. For this next problem here, I'm actually not going to show you how to do it. I'm going to actually ask you to pause the video and then solve the problem, and then after you can resume the video and check your work. Okay? Go ahead and solve this one on your own. It is 1,075 times 25. And do not forget to put the 0 down when you move to the tens place, okay? Go ahead and get started on that. All right, you can see the work that we did here, right? It looks like we multiplied by the ones place. This is right here by the ones place. And then by the tens place. If you got something different, see if you can figure out what you did wrong. Don't forget the carrying up there and adding them up at the end. Correct?
And don't forget the 0.
Oh, don't forget the 0. The 0 is like one of the most important parts. I'm going to put it in yellow. The 0 is super, super, super important.
Very important.
All right, see you later.